am recovering from my dental trauma, and so we're back this week. What I wanted to do today was just focus in on my morning routine. It's, you may be thinking, you know, who cares about a morning routine? Morning routines are boring. But for me, morning routines set the tone for the rest of my day. So I want to focus on my morning routine in this spread. And this will be interesting to look at sometime down the line, maybe when I'm retired and my morning routine looks very, very different. So it's one of those simple things that you can include in your art journal. So this here is a photograph of myself with chipmunk cheeks from the dentist, but it's real life, so it's all good. This was printed on my Canon printer on matte photo paper. And I have a guillotine or a paper cutter from Recollections, and it never works well for me. So I just go the old-fashioned route, cutting mat, X-Acto knife, and I'm always happy with the results when I do it this way. My dogs are about to go nuts because I think my husband's home. He was dropping off our daughter for work. Any minute now there's going to be mayhem as soon as he arrives. 3 dogs going crazy. Before my stepdaughter moved back in with her dog, my dogs were really well behaved. Not anymore! Okay, so this photo is going to go in my journal. This represents, you know, a major part of my morning routine. This is like, if this doesn't happen, this coffee cup full of caffeine, if this doesn't happen, the rest of the day doesn't happen. So this is a major part of my morning routine. One of the things that I want to focus on in this spread is acknowledging and kind of honoring how a morning routine sets me up for a good day. So I am going to call this spread my wildly inspired morning. That's going to be some of the text that'll be on there. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here, but I glued this sheet to this, and it's not quite sticking, which is always a pain in my behind. A pain in my assets. So I'm feeling colorful for this spread. This journal, the theme is wildly inspired. And color seems to be one of the things that really comes up for me. Our first spread was super colorful. So I'm going to go ahead with color, but I just wanted to mention that this spread was pre-prepared. So it's got gesso and masking tape. I can't believe they're not barking their faces off, babe. That's you, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't believe they're not barking their faces off.
Maybe they know you're recording.
Maybe. So the dogs totally made a liar out of me, and they're not going crazy. So I'm thinking color. I'm thinking what I want to do is kind of start this spread off with a practice that I really enjoy, which is just mark making with paint. So I'm going to grab some colors that are working for me right now. And let me see here. Morning routine, morning routine. Morning colors are yellows and reds and golds for sunrise. So I'm just picking out colors that make me think of the morning. is a twink. Oops, Sprinkling H2O from Luminart. I don't use these very often, but I want to start because they are scrumptious and juicy. Because I've got acrylic paint on here already, the paint is going to act as a resist to the Luminart. And the way you use these is you get them good and wet. So I've just got a spray bottle here. You have to get them really wet and let that sit and kind of reconstitute the paint a little bit. It can take a little while. I'm going to see if I can get some happening here. You want it to be kind of goopy. Oh, it's lovely. And if you're smart, you'll spray your twinks with water before you start working so that they're good and goopy for you. But this is good enough. But what I want is for the blue to be on the gessoed areas but not on the paint. So I'm just going to go ahead and paint over everything. Get some more water in there. And I'm using blue because blue is a complementary color to orange. And there's a lot of orange in this with the nickel azo gold. And a warm background like this, when you add blue around it, makes the warms really pop. So I like to stagger my background making warm, cool, warm, cool. And I like to think about things like complementary color as well. And we kind of want these twinks to sink in. So the gesso will be kind of absorbent, and then you can just wipe the twinks off of the paint. See that? And the paint will resist the water-soluble paint and come back to the vibrancy that it was at before. Let me pull this down for you so you can see what I'm talking about. That makes pages like these super fun is contrast, and I will be using paint markers to create that contrast. I'm going to go with black and white, so I'm looking for my extra fine black Molotow marker. That is not it. There's my extra fine white. You know what, I'm going to use Sakura Glaze for the black, just because I like the raised effect and the super shiny finish. Okay, so at this point I'm thinking about composition and how I want things to work. I don't really want to cover too much of this up, so I think I'm going to flip out my picture instead of gluing it down so that it can flip open. But it's kind of dull the way it is, so I kind of want to do something with that. I'm almost like no picture. That's where I'm almost thinking no picture. Let's do a gessoed journaling block. This is the smallest one I have. That's a little too big. I think I'll put it over here because I'm not terribly worried about the stuff that's going on over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a whitewashed journaling block using gesso and water. I already have some mixed up because I use a lot. So it's just, where is it? So what I did was when I ran low on this, I just added some water to make a wash. And I'm gonna just draw around this with a Stabilo awl. Which is water soluble. And then I'll paint my wash in. Now the thing with this wash is it's not going to cover up completely, and it's going to create a new ground. Quite a transparent yellow. And a transparent yellow is hard to find. They all tend to be pretty opaque, but this one's in the mid-range for opacity, which you can tell when you look at the bottle. So you can see here, it's sort of on the right side of the opaque meter here. So it's not going to be completely transparent, but it will do. I want to do journaling in the round, which is something I learned from the fabulous Joanne Sharp. I've seen it other places as well, but basically what you do is you start writing around and around and around your circle until your circle is full. So I'm going to start with the point of the spread, which is my morning routine. I'm going to fill that little heart in with a pink or red, whichever I find first. Pink it is. And then I'm going to go around the sun shape with little scallops. So I'm going to fill this out with the Jelly Roll first, and then I'm going to go back in with white or black. I haven't decided yet. Okay, and then I want a quote in here about mourning, but I don't know what about mourning. So I'll have to have a think. Now that that's dry, I can go back in and do that. So when I tried that earlier, it was wet. Maybe it doesn't need a quote, I don't know. I love that this heart's upside down. I totally wasn't paying attention to the orientation of the book when I made it, and we have a little upside down heart there, which is kind of cool. No, I don't think it needs a quote. I don't think it needs anything. What I like about this is it takes this rather chaotic looking background, and then you've got this spiral in towards love, and that is what my morning routine means to me, that it centers me, it helps me focus, it takes all this stuff and it puts it in this little tiny heart in the center, and I love that. That's just saying everything I wanted to say. Everything I wanted to say. That's awesome. Okay, so this will be coming out on the 30th, so I'm going to date this for the 30th. It also happens to be new moon today when you guys are getting this, which means that there's a new art journaling spread coming out in my moonshine class as well. So if you're wanting even more inspiration, you can click on the details for that in the right-hand sidebar of my blog, because it's still open for registration. It's never too late to sign up. There we go. Let's put that right here. There. Perfecto. Awesome sauce. I hope you enjoyed that. I'm going to put the supplies list and a little musy blurb on my blog, so do click the link below to get, the extras. Look, I forgot down here. My little white scallops. Got to get those in, or it will not look complete. It'll look weird. And this was totally fun. It took a little while. I think probably we spent an hour at this today. But I think an hour is a nice time to spend on an art journaling spread. Something about spending the time really, I don't know, to me it feels like you're honoring your life, you know? So there, finish that scallop off. That's it. Ta-da! Alright guys, big smooches. We'll talk to y'all next week, hopefully. If not, you guys know I'll send you out a newsletter to let you know that I'm not recording, but chances are I'll be recording. So I'll see you then. Bye!